What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new episode of KreepyKam, the show where I cover creepypastas, games, books, media, YouTube videos, anything. If it's actually creepy and I find it interesting, I'm going to be covering it. One thing I actually did used to do is I did used to read creepypastas every now and then, and I think I kind of want to do that again because it's been a little bit since I've actually done that. So in this video, we're actually going to be reading a creepypasta called Necrosleep. Now, this is actually a really classic creepypasta. I think this is actually one of my favorite creepypastas of all time, because basically what this story is about is there's this guy, and he's basically a neat person who's probably just honestly has really nothing going on in his life, and he's kind of just like a social recluse. Kind of sounds a little familiar, not really, but anyway. Basically the guy is basically a social recluse who actually is trying to stay at home and not really interact with other people, and he's on this forum where he actually encounters some type of this link or whatever, and he goes to the link and he sees like some drug that they're actually advertising that lets you basically never sleep a day in your life, and you can actually stay awake. And I think this is actually really fun to actually do because I didn't really mean to do this, but I'm actually pretty tired right now. It's actually pretty late, and I'm definitely going to go to sleep after I do this video. But, with it being one of my favorite creepypastas, it does make sense for me to kind of set the mood. So if I seem like I'm a little bit more tired and less energy, that's the reason why. But I feel like it's actually going to add more to the story. We're not really going to do too much of an investigation. This is really just going to be a reading, so I hope you guys enjoy with this GTA 3 gameplay that I have in the background. I didn't get that far in it, but I just played GTA 3 because GTA 3 kind of was it's kind of like a weird game. It's kind of like a darker type of GTA game, and I feel that's really underappreciated, honestly. But yeah, we're gonna read the story now. Cold case file, Necrosleep.net, 4/18/2023. By the way, that's about a year ago. The following account is the only surviving evidence supporting the existence of Necrosleep.net. The blog data was downloaded by a concerned reader just before it had vanished from the internet in 2014. The data was not recovered until 9 years had passed. These are the final days of Reed Murdoch, written in his own words. It's also kind of cool to mention that this I'm reading this story at night, and there's usually I get creeped out at this time, so yeah, it's cool. My Disconnected Life, blog author Reed Murdoch, October 16th, 2014. Hey guys, so I decided to start a blog about my new life. Most of you reading this are probably my friends and acquaintances, but for the rest of you, I'll expose a bit about myself. My name's Reed. I just moved out of my parents' basement, thank God, and now I'm pursuing my own life where no one can push me around anymore. Technically, I'm the one who dished the place, but they all but kicked me out beforehand. Nobody gives a damn about a crackhead like me, not even my parents. Not that I care. Anyways, I'm doing my own thing now. I had to give up on a few luxuries. My mom's hellacious cooking, not worthy of being called a luxury. I'd rather live off discount ramen noodles anyway. Sometimes I'll even have corn on the side when I'm feeling extra fancy. Speaking of fancy, I'll admit my apartment is anything but. It's the cheapest one I could find. In fact, I'm finding the saying, you get what you pay for, to be especially true when I'm trying to sleep to the lulling sound of what I can only guess is some old lady getting mugged in the dark alleyway next door. My ghetto sanctuary consists of one living room, a kitchenette, a bathroom, and a closet. The walls are practically made of cardboard, and the carpet is stained with God knows what, but it's good enough for me. Living with me is my poor excuse for a cat named Twig. She's one of those weird hairless breeds, and in turn, a real conversation piece. I'm often asked why the cat's turned inside out, or if she was the victim of some perverse taxidermy project gone wrong. As shoddy as my life seems, living on the cheap has its benefits. My cost of living is next to nothing, so I can make enough money to survive by doing odd jobs on the internet without ever living in the house. I spend half of the month writing bogus reviews for products I've never used and filling out surveys on political issues I know nothing about. Then spend the other half surfing the web and watching pirated reruns of the X-Files. I don't even have to pay for internet service, thanks to my neighbor's complete failure to secure their Wi-Fi hotspot. I bet their data overages are over the roof right now. Oh well, not my problem. I'll be updating this blog every day or two if I'm up to anything interesting. Thanks for reading this boring crap. Hopefully my life will get a little bit more exciting in the days to come. October 18th, 2014. I decided to do something unusual. It's 3 a.m. and I intend to stay up all night. Caffeinated beverages at my side. Why am I doing this, you ask? Well, because I'm basically permanently switching to a nocturnal sleep schedule. In other words, I'll be sleeping during the day instead of the night. I have a good number of reasons of doing this. One, there's actually less people out at night, so leaving the building won't be such a dreaded thing. Two, sunlight gives you cancer, right? Three, screw social norms. Four, the internet speed seems to increase substantially after midnight. Five, it's a free country and I don't even need reasons. Also, I ran into this cool forum called Nocturnal Underground. Naturally, it's full of sun-loathing recluses and cynical misanthropes like me. How perfect. I registered straight away and found their forum dwellers to be quite welcoming. It's not the most famous of internet destinations, more of a tight-knit hole in the wall for a very obscure subculture. We all seem to share a general appreciation for societal disconnect, which is cool because I really thought I was the only whack job who can't stand dealing with normal people. After all, it's these normal people who are telling me I don't have this right to smoke whatever substances I damn well please, as if it's their business. I'll let you all know how this whole nocturnal thing works out for me. Peace out. October 21st, 2014. I'm adjusting very well to my new lifestyle. I can already tell this is the way that I should have been living all along. The internet is a far more interesting place at night. Everything has been fairly normal lately, except for one thing. Yesterday I received a mysterious private message on Nocturnal Underground. Here it is, copied and pasted for your reading pleasure. To Readman07, Firm Revelation 666. Subject, Necrosleep.net. Congratulations, Readman07. You've been invited to an invitation-only website that will change your life forever. Discover what society doesn't want you to know at Necrosleep.net. Use your exclusive invitation code to enter DCLXVI. Find out what you've been missing your entire life. Necrosleep.net. Sounds like a total scam, but it piqued my interest. I couldn't resist going to the site just to see what the hell it was. So I went there and arrived at a completely empty blank page. I noticed a text cursor blinking in the center, indicating that I could type. I presumed that this is where I was supposed to put in the invitation code, and I presumed correctly. When the home page loaded, I immediately noticed that all the text was in Russian besides the title header, which simply said Necrosleep.net in English. My web browser automatically detected that the site was Russian and offered to translate it for me, so of course I clicked yes. Now, this site was clearly on the shady side. Whoever made it was clearly not well versed in web design, as it had more in common with a notepad document than a good web page. The background was black, the white text was written in the oh-so-generic Courier font, and even the title header was now a row of red hyperlinks labeled as follows: Main, Purchase, Secret, and Credit. Here's an excerpt from the name page. Welcome to Necrosleep.net. This website is invitation only. Selected viewers have exclusive access to our special product that will change your life forever. Necrosleep is a product that safely negates the biological need of sleep. Thanks to our miraculous secret formula, with one pill a day, you will never feel the need to sleep again. Try it for yourself by clicking the purchase link. If Necrosleep doesn't change your life, we will offer you a complete refund. Your astonishment is guaranteed. What a bold claim these people are making. There's no way this stuff actually works. Otherwise, everyone would be taking it. Obviously, I was skeptical, and I still am, but I snooped around the site a little bit more, just out of curiosity. I clicked the secret hyperlink, which took me to another page. Here's the text from said page. Necrosleep is comprised of special and rare ingredients, which we cannot disclose in order to ensure that our formula stays in private hands. In order to keep our product available, it can only be distributed through alternative means on an exclusive basis. The active ingredient Necrosleep has been sought after for years by doctors and scientists intending to displace sleep with wakefulness. Only we have managed to do that what others have been able to not, as permitted by the will of our master. We can assure you with full confidence that our product will change your life, and you will never feel the need to sleep again. Feel free to indulge in the secret. Alternative means more like black market. Whatever's going on here doesn't appear to be legal exactly. Not that I care about the law, I just get untrustworthy vibes from this site. Anyways, I continued on and clicked the credit hyperlink. My heart skipped a little when I was confronted with honestly the most uncanny photo of a living person I'd ever seen. It was an old black and white photo of a tall man in a doctor's coat. If he wasn't standing upright, I'd say the guy was dead. But my guess is that he was just cadaverously unhealthy and probably blind from the looks of his pale, lifeless eyes. Not a trace of emotion could be found in his face. There was a small bit of text below the photo which read as follows. Credit for the pioneering of Necrosleep goes to the brilliant Dr. Hill. Really? Seriously? I'm sorry. This name is so amazing. Goes to the brilliant Dr. Hill A. Stan, proxy of our master and founder of the Ukrainian Institute of Occult Medicine. His work lives on. Proxy of our master, occult medicine? Maybe I've just watched too many horror movies, but this isn't your typical snake oil sales pitch. Maybe there's just some part of some deranged religious group or something? I admit I was slightly creeped out, but more fascinated. I clicked the purchase hyperlink out of curiosity once again. Turns out each pill costs an absurd amount of Russian currency, which I found was equal to about $130 US per pill. Ridiculous. Not that I would buy them, even if I could. I immediately left the site. At this point, I'm guessing it's some lousy foreign credit card scam or some weird cold initiative. Either way, it made my day more interesting than it normally would have been. October 22nd, 2014. I posted a thread on Nocturnal Underground about the mystery user who sent me the strange PM. I found myself wanting to know more about this whole Necrosleep.net thing, so as part of my investigation, I sought to find out who the user was. Here's a transcript of the forum thread. Hey guys, I hope I'm not disturbing the order of things by posting this in the trolling and harassment section. I didn't know where else to put it. I figured this incident of mine might qualify as spam in case if other people are getting the same advertisement message I am. Basically, the other day I got a PM from a user that I've never seen before called Revelation666, and the message was an advertisement for some supplement. Has anyone ever seen this user on the forums before? I sure haven't. If you have any information, that'd be great. Cosmic Trash Bin. I don't recognize the user's username. He must be fairly newer and just inactive. What were the exact contents of the message? We could probably get an admin to ban him for advertising. Here's a screen cap of the message. Strange. Did you actually go to the website? I hope not. It's probably infested with viruses, lol. Just tried going there. It's a black screen. The invite code didn't work either. They just gave me a weird pop-up box that said invalid IP. Of course I went there. I couldn't resist. Doesn't work for me either. Invalid IP. If it only works for Reman07, maybe it's bound to his IP somehow. Can you get some screenshots of the website? You sparked my interest. Here you are. The page was initially in Russian, so I had my browser translated. Looks shady as hell. Wow, don't even mess with it. You're asking for trouble just by clicking the link. You're probably being keylogged as we speak. Not to mention the product they're selling is probably laced with cyanide. If he's stupid enough to buy it, well, the gene pool is better off without him anyways. Never trust a Russian. I'm a Russian, and I find that offensive. You just said you were Asian last week. Make up your mind. I leave this thread for 5 minutes and chaos ensues. Everybody I call them, they down. Of course I'm not going to mess with it. These stupid miracle pills are $130 each anyways. Who do you think I am, Johnny Cash? Just because his name was Johnny Cash doesn't mean that he was rich or had lots of cash or whatever. Of course he was rich, you dumb. He's Johnny Cash. Whose bright idea was it to equip this forum with a profanity filter anyway? It's stupid. Before this thread deteriorates any further, let me just say I put tape over my webcam just in case something slipped past my antivirus. But it's probably just a credit card scam or something. I'll do some research on it tomorrow. The sun's been up for 3 hours and I'm running low on energy drinks. I'll contact one of the admins about this. Spam isn't tolerated here. I ought to see if they're willing to uninstall the profanity filter plugin as well. I got a message later on from HG Wishing Wells, one of the admins, saying that the user Revelation666 doesn't exist in the database, and the only way I could have received the message is if the mail client was bypassed somehow. In other words, somebody hacked the system just to send me a spam message. What the hell? October 23rd, 2014. I finally got around to googling Necrosleep. The results were mostly irrelevant YouTube channels and defunct 90s screamo bands from the looks of it, but I noticed among the garbage results a link to a post on fastmd.com. The preview said, "Does anyone know if this Necrosleep stuff actually works?" So I clicked on it, only to be directed to a page stating, "The post you're looking for has been deleted and no longer exists." I should have known. Nothing can ever be easy and predictable. I returned the results, and I had to scan over several pages of them before finally running into an old gaming forum thread where the website Necrosleep.mention was mentioned. This time, the post hadn't been deleted. In the middle of the conversation about maximizing crop production in some medieval strategy game, one of the users claimed they had taken Necrosleep in order to tend to his virtual farm 24 hours a day. Needless to say, the other forum patrons were highly skeptical. The guy posted a link to Necrosleep.net in an attempt to back up his claim, ultimately failing to convince them because, you guessed it, the site was bound to his IP address. He also had the same identification code as me, DCLXVI, leading me to believe it's just a formality intended to make you feel special. But that doesn't explain why and how my IP, and apparently someone else's, got singled out. The bragger then claimed that there was irrefutable proof of his ceaseless wakefulness and his in-game score. In relation to the length of time his account had existed, his score was excessively high. So in fact, it would be impossible for him to attain such a high score in such a short time frame, unless he was playing the game for at least 21 hours a day, which basically leaves no time for sleeping. Despite all that, they attributed his accomplishment to an automatic bot program that operated the game for him during the night. Since cheating in this way is against the game rules, his account was promptly banned, according to the moderator at the end of the thread. Sure enough, in little red letters below his forum avatar were the words, "Banned for bot abuse," listing the date August 12th of 2006. I couldn't find any more relevant results for Necrosleep or Necrosleep.net other than that what I just told you about. Looks like these online dope dealers are pretty stealthy. I'm just dying to know what their real motives might be, because I could think of a million better ways to steal someone's credit card number or peddle quack remedies. It could be a prank, but evidently this has been going on since 2006 at least. Perhaps some jokes just never die. October 25th, 2014. I got another PM from Revelation 666. Knowing what I know now, it makes me uneasy to think about the great lengths this user actually went to contact me specifically. For some reason, they stealthily bypassed the system just to send me those messages and make me this offer. Here's the message I received. To Reedman07 from Revelation 666. Subject, necrosleep.net/backdoor. Congratulations, Reedman07. You have been selected to receive a free 30-day trial of Necrosleep. Claim your exclusive reward at necrosleep.net/backdoor. Find out what you've been missing your entire life. Risk-free. necrosleep.net/backdoor. Once again, my curiosity got the best of me. Bracing myself for whatever scam was coming my way, I clicked the link. I was taken to a page asking for my address, nothing more. I thought about it carefully, knowing full well that these people will likely have malicious intentions. But if I entered my post office box, what's the worst that could happen? Them sending me some junk mail or faulty pills? The point is that I'll finally know what they want from me. I entered the address. October 28th, 2014. I decided to go back to the thread I posted on Nocturnal Underground and let people know what's up. Sure enough, their reactions were amusing. Well guys, it happened again. Look at the attachment. Don't tell me you clicked on this one too. I did, and then it asked me for my address. But don't worry, I only entered my P.O. box. Are you out of your mind? I take it you couldn't persuade the admins to disable the profanity filter? No, Sherlock. Apparently they get a huge kick out of watching us quarrel over it. I wouldn't be surprised if HG Wishing Well sent me those weird messages just to stir some controversy around here. Neither would I. The mystery has been solved. Everybody go home. In all seriousness, I had nothing to do with this. I swear on my great-grandmother's life. Swearing on the life of a dead person isn't exactly the most convincing way to plead. I think the joke's gone far enough. HG, did you do it or not? I really didn't do it. The admins and I were generally perplexed when we actually saw where the message came from, or should I say where the message didn't come from. It was certainly not from any registered user on the inside. If they actually send you the pills, are you going to take them? You couldn't pay me $1 million to try that. I can personally guarantee you that stuff is too good to be true. Nothing can make you stay awake forever. I agree with Cosmic, don't take this any further. Even if they do send me the pills and it's not just junk mail, I'm not going to take it unless I find some information on it. Did you really think I'm that stupid? Chill out, guys. I probably won't update this thread anymore, so follow my blog if you want to know what's up with me. The link's on my profile. Well, we pretty much ruled out the possibility that it's a prank by the admins. I don't think HG Wishing Wells would carry on the joke for this long, nor would he lie so blatantly. And even if one of the other admins were to prank me, I can't imagine they would do it with some Russian supplement pitch. It's just all too strange. October 30th, 2014. Last night I had a buddy of mine deliver the mail to my doorstep in exchange for some coder work on his flashlight. I'll do just about anything to avoid leaving the building, but that's not the point. The point is that I received an envelope with no return address, yet I immediately knew who it was from. It was old, like very old, like it had been sitting in a dusty attic for decades. I opened the stained envelope only to find a smaller manila envelope inside, also rather old looking. Inscribed on the small envelope was the word Necrosleep and a word of advice on storing the packet in a cool dark place for maximum potency. The words appeared to have been stamped onto the envelope rather than printed. I opened the small envelope and sure enough there were 30 black pills inside, more crude than what you might get from your local pharmacy. Now before you all start freaking out, I am not going to take these. At least not until I can dig up some more reliable information on them. Now I know that these Russian dope dealers weren't just trying to send me junk mail. The question is, why would they send me the pills if they don't actually work? Surely they must want my money, which they wouldn't get after a failed 30-day trial. What if they're trying to kill me? I never did have a good feeling about any of this, but the curiosity is killing me. October 31st, 2014. It just occurred to me that I completely overlooked something. I never researched Dr. Hale A. Stan, the guy who apparently had something to do with Necrosleep. So I did a quick Google search and found, much to my surprise, that he had his own article on Wikipedia. The article states that Dr. Stan was a Ukrainian scientist and physician. He claimed to have been directly involved in the experience portrayed in a 1940 motion picture, which documented Soviet research into the resuscitation of clinically dead organisms. Here's an excerpt from the article. The motion picture, Experiments in the Revival Organisms, depicts various disturbing medical experiments conducted on canines, one of which involves keeping a dog's decapitated head alive with a primitive auto-injector machine that supplied it with oxygenated blood. The operations in the film were credited to Dr. Sergei Brukhenko, or however you say that. However, Dr. Hale A. Stan insistently claimed to be the one who really conducted the experiments and invented the auto-injector, and that they only credited Brukhenko because Stan was sentenced to life in prison for illegally conducting gruesome experiments on humans. He believed that because he had consent with his test subjects, albeit through bribery, that he had not committed an immoral crime. The Lenin Prize was awarded to Brukhenko for the auto-injector, while Stan remained in permanent imprisonment. It wasn't until they discovered the lost footage of his morbid human experiments that they had him executed by lethal injections. His last words, spoken in an unidentified language, died with him. Dr. Hale A. Stan was rumored to have pioneered a variety of cures for major conditions such as narcolepsy and epilepsy. However, the results were not published in a scientific manner, and therefore the majority of his alleged accomplishments were unverifiable, as well as seemingly occult in nature. The number of people he apparently cured of various incurable afflictions between 1930 and 1940 was in the thousands. Attempts to replicate his documented remedies ultimately failed, leading most to believe he was actually practicing pseudoscience. It is believed by some that Dr. Hale A. Stan has a following to this day, and that his miracle cures are still being practiced and peddled from Russia and Ukraine. Some claim to have received mysterious emails and offers pertaining to Dr. Hale A. Stan's work. All investigations revealed no evidence to support these claims. Okay, I'm just going to start right here real quick. I'm not going to show it because it's really gruesome, kind of. But there's literally a video of one of those experiments. It's a real thing, where there's a video of a dog's head literally being kept alive, I guess, by oxygen being pumped into it. It's actually a real life thing. Sergei Brukhenko is a real person, and if you want to look that up, look up on your own risk. But I really have to give you guys a word of caution before you look that up, because it's really gruesome. It's not the easiest thing to take in, but that is a real thing. I'm just not going to show it in this video because YouTube is going to hate me. Anyway, back to the story. I'll admit some of this stuff unnerves me. Morbid human experiments aren't exactly pleasant things to think about, but it seems to me that this guy was just doing what was necessary to advance his research. Maybe he was really onto something. Maybe his cures couldn't be replicated because they were so advanced. I don't really know. All I know now is that I've received one of these mysterious offers that supposedly don't exist behind hearsay. Maybe there's something to this. Maybe I was really selected to actually receive a gift too great for the masses. Maybe they were dead serious when they said that this would change my life. November 1st, 2014. I'm holding the pill in my hand, ready to take it at a moment's notice. I've been thinking hard about this. I know it's not the safest thing to do, but I'm a risk taker. If this turns out badly, I don't have much to live for anyways. Life is nothing without danger, and I want to know the motives of these people more than anything. I need to know what they want from me. I need to know what I'm missing. There's only one way to find out. November 3rd, 2014. I can't believe it. It's actually working. I haven't slept in 3 days and I don't feel even remotely tired. Holy hell! I've never felt so focused and stimulated in my life. I don't know what's in this stuff, but it works. I don't know how long it's going to work exactly, but I'm not getting my hopes up, but the claim is that I'll never be able to sleep again. Ever. So far, so good. November 4th, 2014. Still works like a charm after 4 days, but lately the light's been really bothering me, so I duct taped a piece of cardboard over the window. I never liked that window anyways. At night, I get this feeling that I'm being watched from outside, and it's making me anxious more than usual. It's easy to think that you're, seeing something uncanny out the window until you realize it's just your own reflection distorted by the cheap glass pane. Anyways, that issue has been resolved. I also found something interesting when I was taking my nightly pill. Until recently, I failed to notice a symbol stamped on the inside of the small manila envelope. Yes, the inside. I know I've seen the symbol before, but I can't remember where exactly. It's a downward pointing pentagram, which what I think is a goat's head inscribed within. And, you know, maybe they just reused an old envelope and turned it inside out or something. November 5th, 2014. Thanks to one of my followers for pointing out something I didn't realize. The inside of the envelope was actually a satanic symbol. Yeah, needless to say, I'm definitely not taking this crap anymore. This sort of thing really creeps me out. I'm done. I wish I could have read that message before I took it tonight. I'll just quit tomorrow. I mean, it hasn't harmed me thus far and I feel great, so maybe I'm just being paranoid. It's just a symbol, probably a printing mistake or something, but screw that. I'm not messing around with demonic affairs. No way in hell. November 6, 2014. Over the past week, I've been taking one of these pills at exactly 10 p.m. each night. I plan on stopping the pills tonight, but around 10:30, I started getting this horrible headache and it got progressively worse. I was thinking maybe it was just me adjusting to suddenly going off Necrosleep, so I waited another hour, and I just couldn't take it anymore. I took another pill. I know I could quit if I wanted to, but I'm starting to think that there's no reason to. I mean, I don't have to sleep anymore. I've been feeling extra energized. I should just man up and stop being irrational. November 9th, 2014. I've been making a killing with all this free time and newfound focus. I have made $5,000 in a single day of trading virtual property. That's not including my online poker proceedings over the past week, which are through the goddamn roof. Suddenly, I feel like I have this intuitive grasp of numbers I've never had before. I've been living my life in a daze now. They were right. This really is changing my life. November 11th, 2014. Here's a rather peculiar story for you guys. I was sitting on my couch and minding my own business when I noticed a couple of gleaming eyes staring at me from the dark corner. I thought nothing of it, knowing it must have been Twig skulking about. Cats have reflective eyes. Who else would it be? I looked away, and at that very same moment, I felt it. Twig's wrinkly little self curling up next to me. I looked back around toward the corner, those beady eyes still fixed upon me with Twig clearly at my side. I blinked, and the eyes were gone. Man, my brain's really trying to screw with me. It had to have been mental, yet I remember it, though, with such lucidity. Come to think of it, I should have known it wasn't Twig from the start. Cat's eyes don't glow red. Anyways, let's just hope it was a freak brain malfunction. After all, what else could it be? November 12th, 2014. I'm gonna run out of food eventually. Obviously, I could go to the store and restock myself, but the thought scares me. The thought of leaving the safety in my apartment, the thought of social interaction, I now dread it more than I ever have. I've never preferred, going out to staying in, but I've never dreaded it this much. I wasn't always so terribly afraid. None of my instant messenger friends have been online lately, and they stopped upvoting my blog posts. Who's going to get my groceries? What if I have to go out there? I shouldn't be panicking like this, honestly. I'm being stupid. Stop panicking, you idiot. Stop panicking, you idiot. Stop panicking, you idiot. November 13th, 2014. My friend Jake came online. It was a temporary relief that lasted about as long as it took him to say, I'm not dropping off the food until you get out the house. That was his offer, entailing that I leave the house and go clubbing with the guys in exchange for help. I declined out of pure fear. He was worried for my health, apparently. I can't blame him for thinking I'm becoming a feral hermit doomed to die alone in this pathetic slum, but he just doesn't understand. Nobody understands me. At least I'm pretty sure I got enough to last till Thanksgiving if I stretch it. November 15th, 2014. I need to tell you all about the other strange experience I've had yesterday. I had been leaving my TV on lately so that the silence doesn't irritate me. That children's show, Bucko's Garden, was on. You know, the one that we all watched as kids, until we were mature enough to realize how mindless and nonsensical it was. Yeah, that show. It was playing in the background on my old boxy TV in the corner. Eventually it distracted me and I found myself zoning out into it for the lack of better things to do. It must have been a Thanksgiving episode, considering Bucko, a guy dressed like a deer with a human face, was in the kitchen preparing sweet potatoes and cranberries. This is about as intelligible as the show gets. Things got a bit weird when he decided to let the anthropomorphic cranberries go into his garden at the last minute, as if they were captive insects. The sweet potatoes weren't so lucky. Bucko sent his bird friends to retrieve a pumpkin pie from pie tree, and his girlfriend's to collect gravy from the gravy cow, who coincidentally regurgitates mashed potatoes to boot. I told you this show is weird, but that's not even the start. I didn't realize something was off until Bucko pulled out a knife, a full-fledged razor-sharp knife that you wouldn't expect to see in such a benign show. With this other hand, he opened the oven and pulled it out. Not a ham, not a turkey, a roasted human fetus. Mother of God. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. How on earth could this be allowed on television? Were my eyes deceiving me? I don't know, but I turned it off as soon as he started cutting into it. The gore was too much, even for me. I'm still having a hard time believing what my eyes clearly saw. I couldn't have been dreaming. I had so much of it as a nap in 15 days. I don't even know. Maybe something's wrong with me. I've been forgetting my PC login password. Even after I changed it to something else and wrote it down, I forgot where I wrote it down, where I forgot it down. I can't even think properly right now. November 18th, 2014. I'm not going to lie. I'm scared out of my mind right now. I walked into the bathroom planning to take my first shower in weeks. I never imagined I'd open the door and see anything more than my own reflection in the mirror. Instead, I saw it, standing behind me, staring, completely motionless. I froze and panicked more than I ever have in my entire life. I swear, you don't know true fear. You don't have even a clue. I can still see it engraved in my mind. The face. It was demonic. It was gone as soon as it came. I'd say I'd just been imagining things, but it was all too real. I'm not going into the bathroom ever again. I'll just go in the kitchen sink or something. I can't handle this. I wonder if these pills are screwing with my head. I need to stop. I need to stop now. I don't even feel safe in my own apartment anymore. I feel like the shadows are watching me. November 20th, 2014. I tried to stop the pills again, but I had to change of heart at the last minute. Something told me not to, like a voice in my head. Like I felt like it would be wrong, and somehow my life would fall apart if I stopped. I don't think this is normal. The way I'm living, I can't imagine it any other way. I can't imagine stepping out into the light or even the moonlight for that matter. All of my instant friends contacts have been offline since Jake talked to me last, and I don't know if my food will last another week. Twig's getting pretty skinny since I've been eating her cat food to stretch my supplies a bit, but she'll be okay as long as someone comes online by Thanksgiving. Speaking of which, nobody invited me over for Thanksgiving dinner. Not even my family, but that's okay. I hate my parents anyway. Screw them. November 22nd, 2014. I've been hearing more voices in my head. Horrible voices. It's really scaring me, and I don't know what to do. Is this some sort of side effect or something? I can't hear myself think sometimes, like I'm losing control over my own thoughts, and these thoughts I have are so dark. It's not like me to think the way, but I would never hurt anyone. I'm not like that. I tried going to Necrosleep just to see if there's something I missed about side effects, and it said the domain is no longer in use. The site was shut down. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm terrified of myself. November 24th, 2014. Knock, knock. I yelled through the drafty door, asking who it was. It was my friends, Jake and Douglas. Apparently they wanted to help me after seeing my blog post of distress, but sure enough, it was only under the condition I open the door and come out. Very suspicious. How do I know I can really trust them? I know I've trusted them for years, but what if they were just earning my trust so that they could pull some more sinister stuff later on? What if they drugged my food? What if they stabbed me when I opened the door? It just occurred to me that I have no real proof that I can trust them. I can't even trust myself anymore. I don't even know who I am. Maybe my whole life I've been a sadistic freak and I don't even know it. Maybe my true self is coming out. Maybe everyone is evil. November 25th, 2014. The voices won't stop. I used to think they were malevolent, but now I'm not so sure. Sometimes I feel like they're trying to liberate me. They want me to listen to them desperately. They show me things, horrible things. And yet these things don't seem horrible to me anymore. I'm numb. I don't feel anything. But I know there's one thing I can do to make me again. Part of me says it's terribly wrong, but the voices tell me otherwise. The voices are my friends now. The demons are my friends. November 26, 2014. Twig is in heaven now. I had to do it. I had to know what it tasted like. It was satisfying, but I need more. I thought I'd never leave this room again, but I don't have a choice anymore. I need more of it. The face is getting angry. The voices are getting angry. My head starts so bad. It hurts so much. I need more. They're hurting me. I need to feed them more. They need more. I need more. I have to make them stop. I need more. I need more. Make it stop! Police report, part 1, Thanksgiving, 11/27/2014. Victim, Paul Murdoch. Aggressor, Real Murdoch. Aggressor, Reed Murdoch. Police arrived on the scene after a frantic 911 call from Margaret Murdoch, confirmed to be the aggressor's mother. The victim, Paul Murdoch, the aggressor's father, was found in the process of being mauled and cannibalized by the aggressor, Reed Murdoch, whose face and mouth had been covered in blood and brain matter. Reed was shot dead after refusing to stop eating his own father, whose skull was torn open apart entirely. Drug use is suspected to be involved. Police report part 2, 11/29/2014. Reed Murdoch's residence was suspected thoroughly by investigators. A hairless, headless, and disemboweled cat carcass was found on the kitchen counter. The cat's blood and bodily fluids were spilled throughout the house. While the head was found crushed, the brain had been completely removed and nowhere to be found. The apartment was clearly inhabited by an utterly insane individual. Given the foul and uncleanly nature of the place, an old TV rested in the corner turned on, displaying only static and white noise. It had no antenna. A suspicious packet of unidentified pills was recovered. The resident's computer and other personal effects were confiscated and await further analysis. Autopsy report, December 4th, 2014. Subject, Reed Murdoch. The contents of Reed Murdoch's digestive tract were a disturbing mixture of human tissue, mostly brain matter and cerebrospinal fluid. Examination of his own brain, however, was even more disturbing and perplexing. It was clearly and visibly deteriorating. The tissue was black and red rather than the pinkish gray, and riddled with the holes were throughout. Closer examination revealed thousands of small black parasites to be consuming the brain. This was undoubtedly the cause of the man's insidious psychosis. Testing on the parasites was inconclusive, as they didn't match any known species. Further testing is required. The unknown pills recovered from Murdoch's apartment have been tested and confirmed to contain a vile plethora of unknown substances, including obscure, highly addictive, euphoric drugs, human hormones, and parasitic eggs, presumably meant to remain dormant in a cool place until introduced into the body, allowing them to hatch and eventually invade the brain. It is unclear how Murdoch acquired the pills and where they came from, although whoever concocted them surely had malicious intent. Police report part 3, it's December 6, 2014. Two friends of Reed Murdoch, Jack Fairfax and Douglas Lopez, were questioned at the police station, immediately to refer to his online blog, where he allegedly recorded his path to eventual insanity. It was found that the blog had mysteriously disappeared off the face of the internet for reasons unknown. They were aware of the unknown pills Reed was taking, claiming they originated from the website Necrosleep.net. Investigators later confirmed that the website does not exist. Okay, so that was the creepypasta. Like, when I say you guys right now, this is actually one of my favorite creepypastas of all time. It really is, the whole entire idea of someone's like brain like kind of being like, invaded and, it's kind of just being messed with and like this guy just turning like actually insane. It's such a weird like feeling that you get like when you realize that there was literally parasites in his brain. It gets you like a weird feeling under your skin, like there's something in your body, like you can like when a parasite is under you, it's like a really weird feeling. And it just gives you're really uncomfortable. Like that's one of the things that like make creepypastas good, like just making you very uncomfortable. And that's his brain. It's like, was there any like real like hope for this guy, and if like he actually went to like the hospital or something like that, because these things were literally eating his brain. He had to probably like lose lots of brain cells, and who knows if he would ever been like normal after this. Obviously, this story does have some like creepypasta tendencies, like some like oversights, and some like idiocracies. Dr. Hale A. Stan, are you kidding me? I'm not even gonna say what it is, because like, no, like what? But obviously stuff like that. Why does this guy just literally take the freaking pills in general? It's just a lot of like weird stuff that goes on in this story, and there's just like weird stuff. But I know some people like to like point out this stuff and basically like kind of demean the story for having like these idiot moments or whatever. But y'all gotta remember, these stories are written for like our entertainment, and if they didn't do these stuff and they actually you know, you actually have like common sense or like normal sense, because I'm the type of person that says that common sense is not common. But if that were to happen, then there would be no story. Now, you could actually maybe make the argument that maybe the writer should have made, you know, Reed actually have a more realistic point of view, and to actually maybe somehow have been like forced to take these pills in somehow, shape, and form, or whatever. But I think that doesn't really matter for the story, because I feel like it still does like kind of describe like an individual that is definitely like inhibited by his like social introvertedness. And this does actually refrain from me right now. I feel like I've been getting a little bit like too antisocial lately, and I definitely need to like actually interact with people. I mean, I don't always sit at home, like I'm always doing other stuff, but this story actually does like actually strike a chord with me. And what's actually really funny is that the start of the story actually listed as like 10 years later. Like, you know, the cold case file actually starts April 18th of 2023. I think last year I actually did kind of want to, you know, cover this story, but I unfortunately didn't, because I had other things going on and I honestly just forgot about it. But it's actually really, you know, freaking, you know, funny, and also really like weird. It's really crazy to see that we actually live in this time where this, you know, actual like story could have actually happened now. And I think that's really like crazy to see. This definitely is one of like my favorite stories, because like I said, it's really cool. It's really like creepy. This is really just one of my favorite stories, because it's definitely one of like the most creepiest stories, and it just makes me feel really uncomfortable. And I do like the whole entire thing about like him like blogging about like his effects. Like, you know, I'm taking Adderall right now. Like, I have ADHD, and you know, at one point I actually kind of wanted to like document like how like Adderall kind of affects me as a person with ADHD or whatever. And my ADHD is pretty bad. Like, I'm not even gonna get to all that stuff, but mine is pretty bad. And I know it's like a stimulant, but I know that there's pills that can like definitely affect your brain. And you know, I look at these pills and then I like read something like this story, and it's like I never want to like actually take these pills ever again, even though I probably do need them. But at the same time, like it makes you like kind of wonder like what people like put in your pills. You know, not only does it actually, you know, make you uncomfortable like this story does, it sticks with you also because it gets you to think about what could actually happen, like if maybe this could actually happen, because who knows, you know, honestly, there could be like sources or like stories that we could not talk about, we don't talk about in like real life, from like the deep web, or like people like getting like certain pills and non-prescription drugs from the internet on the deep web, or any maybe even some site that is not in the deep web, and some like kind of situation like this happens. Like, who knows, someone could put like rabies in like some pill and call it like, you know, performance enhancing drugs or whatever, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is like, it does get you to kind of think about like, to actually be careful about what you put into your body. And I love it when a story does that, when you actually get you comfortable, uncomfortable I should say, and makes you think about the world that you actually inhabit itself. As you know, you really just can't have anything other than that. It's really an amazing story at the end of the day. But yes, with that being said, guys, that is Necrosleep, one of the best creepypastas of all time. There really isn't like a story or anything like that, or more to go along with the story. I want to maybe cover like more like classic creepypastas on this, because, you know, classic creepypastas, you know, we've read them all back in the day. We've heard them at least. And I think it's kind of cool to like look back at these stories that we might have, you know, read or been on like when we were younger or whatever, and see if they actually stacked up. And I think that Necrosleep definitely for me gets like a 8 out of 10 if I'd have to like kind of rate it or whatever, because again, it's a really good story. I think the only things that kind of really bring it down are like the creepypasta like cliches, and the type of the honestly the writing just making Reed kind of like who he is. But again, it's still an entertaining story at the end of the day, and I think it definitely does stand out above a lot of creepypastas. This is what I would consider a classic, but I don't know what the creepypasta wiki itself, you know, recognizes as classic, because I think classic is like before 2013. I don't know when this was written. In fact, I really don't know. But with that being said, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of KreepyKam. There will be more videos to come soon. I kind of want to maybe do another creepypasta maybe next, or maybe I'll do username 666. But with that being said, guys, if you guys like this video, like this video. If you guys like you want to see more, why not subscribe to the channel? I have a Discord and a Twitter link in the description down below, as well as all my other social medias. But with that being said, guys, thank y'all for watching. Have a good night if you're watching this. Hasta.